We're going to do a question on ratio. Let's read the question. There are 288 passengers seated on a train. The ratio of the number of passengers who are seated to the number of passengers who are standing is 9:13. How many passengers are there altogether? Now let's study the question. There are 288 passengers seated, so I know the number of passengers who are seated on the train. And what else do I know from the question? The ratio is given 9:13, and this ratio is for the number of passengers who are seated to the number of passengers who are standing. So what do I need to find? I need to find how many passengers are there altogether. That means to say I need to know the total number of passengers seated and standing. Okay, let's write aside the information I can gather from the question. So there are the number of people seated is actually 288, and I also know the ratio which is the number of passengers seated to the number of passengers standing is 9:13, and I want to find the total number of passengers altogether. So looking from here, I have the ratio, I have one quantity which is the number of passengers seated, so I need to find the number of passengers standing to find the total. But if I were to draw the model, I'll be able to see that to find the value of one unit, I'll be able to find the total easily. Okay, so I'm going to draw a model. So let's start drawing a model for passengers who are seated. And I have 9, so therefore I'll draw 9 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the number of passengers standing is 13, and therefore I will draw 13 units for passengers who are standing. So this is my 9. Alright, I'll just follow so that they are equal. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now if you can't draw straight lines or equal size, I would suggest you use a model stencil or a ruler to make it neat. So what else do I need to know? Okay, I know that I have 288 seated passengers, so this is my 288 passengers who are seated, and I need to find the total. So I need to find how many passengers altogether. So looking from here, 9 units is actually 288. So I will find the value of 1 unit, which is 288 divided by 9. Let's work it out at the side. Okay, 28 divided by 9. Let's have 3 times 9, 27. 28 minus 27, remainder 1. Bring down my 8, 18. 18 divided by 9, I will have 2. 2 times 9, 18, remainder 0. So therefore, 288 divided by 9 is 32. After knowing 1 unit, okay, the total number of units, okay, there are 2 ways you can find the number of passengers standing, then add to the passengers seated to find the total. But I don't need to do that. The shorter way is I find the total number of units here. In this case, total number of units will be 9 plus 13. If you were to count 9 plus 13, that will give me 22 units. So my total, which is my 22 units, is actually 22 times 32. Right, let's do the working at the side again. So 22 times 32, let's multiply the two ones. 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 2, 4. Now let's multiply the 3 tens. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 3, 6. Add them up together. I would have 4, 0, regroup of 1, 704. So my total is actually 704. So my answer is there are 704 passengers altogether.